As I sat on this bench, I thought about all of the quiet reflections and conversations James and I would have under the oak tree that we planted years ago. Talked about his mom, Susie North, my grandmother, who we affectionately called Mama. I asked him, why would you bring this bench all the way from Illinois? We could have went to the store and just bought one. And there again, the Garcitas taught a lesson. James said what he learned from our ancestors, from my great-grandfather, Papa Charlie, is that it's not about the bench or purchasing a bench. It's about the handmaking, the acts of care, the acts of respect that are built into the bench through your own making, through your own hands. And that's one of the reasons why the maintenance in the Garcitas is so important, and for ancestors to be respected, but also to instill those same learned lessons to the next generation. I thought about the monument that we built there. James had told me in 2015 that he was suffering from dementia, a result of Agent Orange from his time served in Vietnam, that he was concerned about the progression of the disease and that he needed a favor from me. That favor was to carry on the work, to carry on and respect our family's legacy, to respect the legacy of the Garcitas. He had one last wish that he wanted to complete. That wish was, before the disease destroyed his memory, he wanted to build this monument. It was our monument. It was our way of saying we existed and that this place mattered. He drove down and we took a week to put this together. Brick by brick, we put this together with our own hands. My Uncle James North, my Uncle Billy Tip North, and I completed this. This was our last project together. In 2016, he asked me to bring his family to Illinois to see him because I was the key, I was the bridge, the conduit to get them all there. So I made the calls and we made the arrangements and we all went there for Thanksgiving 2016. Within a year, James' disease had progressed so badly that they had to move to Missouri to be next to his kids. I went there and visited him for Father's Day in 2017. But James was having extreme difficulties with his memory. And he reminded me during that trip, don't forget the promise you made to me. And I was thinking, dementia is ravaging his memory, but he remembered that. That's how important it was. And again, I made that commitment. I wouldn't let him down. In 2019, James passed away, November 2019. Then the family brought him from Missouri all the way back to the Garcitas, buried under that same oak tree that we planted next to that bench and that reserved concrete marker that we put there. A year later, James' headstone was installed. And me, my uncles Billy Tip North and George North all went out to make sure that we was there. I videoed the installation so that I could pass that information and that video on to my Aunt Joy. That was the reminder. That was the culmination of all of those conversations there at Garcitas. I've learned so much through honoring this place. And this is what this project means to me, that I am now the keeper. And since I'm the keeper, I have a responsibility to pass this on and also to use our learned experiences, our learned lessons to help other communities like the Garcitas that is around Jackson County, Victoria County, Wharton County, so that we can make certain that these sorts of legacies are not lost, that these places don't fade into non-existence.